name is Becca. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my final TBR of the year. It's December. Oh my gosh. Can we believe it's already December? So it's time for me to talk to you guys all about the books that I want to read this month. And just all the books that I want to finish off the year with. And yeah, of course, in true fashion, that has to do with me, it's pretty ambitious. This month though, there will not be guarantees and add-ons. There will literally just be guarantees. These are the list of books that I very, very much want to get to. So yeah. We'll start off the video with all the physical books I want to get to, and then we'll break out the iPad and talk about all the books that I don't own that I really want to get to. And then at the very end, we will talk about the books that I will be reading for the Magical Realism mini readathon that's taking place in December. So, let's get started. Alright, so we're starting off with a holiday romance that I just bought, and that's A Very Merry Bromance by Lyssa Kay Adams. This is the 5th book, I think. I'm pretty sure it's the 5th one. Why does this happen to me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is the 5th book in the Bromance Book Club series, and this one follows Colton and Gretchen. I really know nothing about this, other than the fact that it's part of the series that I very much enjoyed. It's set during the holidays, so can't wait to read that. And then I also just bought The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. All I know about this is that it's about a woman who is a ghostwriter for one of the most prolific romance authors in the industry. And she no longer believes in love after a terrible breakup. Her new editor won't give her extension on her book deadline. And then our main character, her name is Florence, by the way. She ends up getting a phone call. Her father has passed away, so she has to go back to her hometown that she hasn't been back in so long. And she has to go back there for the funeral. And while she's at the funeral, she sees a ghost. And it's her editor. So it sounds really good. Ashley Poston, I've read a book from before and enjoyed it. It's also the Good Morning America book club pick. Okay, didn't even know they had book club picks. And Christina Lauren and Allie Hazelwood, as well as Rachel Hawkins, all blurbed it, so I'm gonna trust it. Alright, next up, another book that I just bought is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangha Mandana? I'm gonna go with Mandana. Sorry if I just butchered that name. And honestly, I know nothing about this, other than I've heard it's a very cozy, witchy, fantastical book. And that's a lot of words. This is just very here. If you want to pause and read that, then go right ahead. But I think this is one of the ones I'm going to go into pretty blind. I will say, though, it says a warm and uplifting novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. Okay. I also really love the cover. So, I've heard very, very good things about that. Alright. Lastly, on the books that I just bought, that's not entirely true. By a Thread by Lucy Score. This thing is a brick. I didn't think it was going to be this huge. It's 500 pages. But Lucy Score wrote Things We Never Got Over, and that was so damn good. One of my favorite books of the year. And this is a grumpy boss romantic comedy, where this guy ends up, I guess, going to a pizza place and getting the girl working there fired, basically. He had a bad day and he took it out on her and he got her fired. And then she ends up showing up for her new job, and it's the place where he works, and his mother's the CEO and she hired her, so he can't fire her. He can't get rid of her, and they just it's supposed to be, you know, a rom-com, so it sounds really good. And I trust Lucy's score. Next up, we have A Barbarian Mind by Ruby Dixon. I was meant to read this one last month and I just didn't get around to it. So I am going to try and read it this month. This one follows Harlow and Brooke. So I am excited for this. I love the Ice Planet Barbarian series. This is book number 4. And this is the final one that they release in the special editions. At least for now. So I don't have any other ones past this one. And I mean, I could continue on with the series on Kindle Unlimited and things like that. I just don't want to because I've already read the entire series on Kindle Unlimited. So I just, every time they re-release, or they release in the special editions, I just pick it up and read it. So hopefully I will get to this one that month. That one this month, that's what I meant. Words are so difficult right now, I'm telling you. All right. Next up, sorry for that. I haven't taken this one out of the packaging yet. But I did get a book from an author. I won a giveaway on Facebook. And so she sent this one my way because I won. And that is the Holiday Brothers Complete Collection by Will and Nash. So there's 3 books in one. It's The Naughty, the Nice, and the Nanny. 3 Bells, 2 Bows, and 1 Brother's Best Friend. And then A Partridge and a Pregnancy. Will and Nash is Devney Perry's other name. So love Devney Perry. And this is all holiday romances, and it just sounds really good. So I'm here for it. I just really love this cover too. I think it was just re-released in this like complete collection, and it's also was like really heavy. Like this thing is heavy, but yeah, I'm excited. I was so thrilled to win. Didn't think I would, and then I just got a message one day, and I love Devney Perry. I love the fact that I follow her on Facebook. So I will be reading all of Will and Nash's books as well as all of Devney Perry's backlist. Have to. Cannot wait until I get to all of them. It's just going to be a lot, guys. Okay, and then lastly, for the books that I own, one that I have been in the middle of pretty much for like weeks, and it's not the fault of the book, it really isn't, but that is A Light in the Flame by Jennifer Armentrout. This is the sequel to Shadow and Ember, the prequel series to the From Blood and Ash series, or the Blood and Ash series. This is the Flesh and Fire series, so this is the second book in that series. But I'm only 126 pages in, and I'm in the middle of a freaking chapter. I hate when I do that so much. I'm just about to finish the chapter. This is the next page, and you can see like, oh my god, that upsets me even more. But it just, this came out on the 15th of November, and I started reading like basically right as I got it. The problem I had though is that I think the week after it came out, I just became in a massive like physical book slump. Just didn't want to pick up anything physically. So yeah, I just kept reading on my phone. And believe me, I haven't really been reading as much on my phone either. I have a lot going on. I'm working a lot. I have a video game that just came out, which is God of War. Plus the other video games I've been playing. And, my boyfriend's daughter comes over quite often now. Or at least she comes over every other weekend. But, you know, I get to see her quite a bit. So I try to make time and spend time with her. So it's just a lot of time that is not going to be put to reading, which is fine. I have other responsibilities and things that I want to do. So it just happens that way. All right. So that's all the books that I've gotten, or that I have physically to read. Hopefully I will be back in my physical book mode starting now, because I really want to continue on and finish Light the Flame, because I'm really enjoying that, and Shadow and Amber is one of my favorite books of the year as well. So yeah. All right, so next up we have all the books that I don't own physically that I want to read. So a couple more books that I wanted to get to in November and didn't get around to was The Sea Witch by Katie Robert. I am actually in the middle of The Beast, but as I'm filming this, it's November 30th. It's the final day of November, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to finish The Beast tonight. I have about like 60 pages left, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do that, no problem. So we have The Sea Witch by Katie Robert, which is the 5th book in the Wicked Villain series, and it follows the Sea Witch as well as Alaric, and then I don't know what Ariel's name is in this. I can't remember, but I believe it's a throuple. Well, they just did a throuple, but I'm still pretty sure it's a throuple. And then last for that is Queen Takes Rose by Katie Robert. And this one is the Maleficent and Aurora one. But Maleficent's name in here is Malone. And then Aurora still Aurora. But yeah. So those are the final 2 books in the Wicked Villain series. I reread the first 4 for those 2 books specifically, because I just wanted to remember like the intricacies of the worlds and everything, like the towns and who owns what and who's with who and just everything like that. It's a lot. But I wanted to reread those, especially since The Beast is my favorite of the series, and I'm gonna finally finish the series off. I wanted to do it in November and it just didn't happen. So it's fine. Let's see. The next book, another Katie Robert book that I did not get around to in November. Oh no. Oh, there it goes. I didn't get around to it in November, but I'm going to hopefully get around to it in December, and that's The Kraken Sacrifice by Katie Robert. This is the 2nd book in the Deal with the Demon series. I've read the first book, The Dragon's Bride, and then technically like a 0.5 book, or yeah, it's more like a 0.5 book, but it's not considered that in the series, but it's The Demon's Bargain. That is actually part of the Peculiar Taste series that Katie Robert did with a bunch of other authors. And I read all of those. But it's technically set in this world, so you can consider it kind of like a novella in that series, though they're all not long at all. So The Kraken Sacrifice is 182 pages, so they're all basically novella length, but The Demon's Bargain is like a 0.5 in the series, if you can consider that. That's at least how I'm considering it. But yeah, so then The Gargoyle's Captive, the 3rd book in the series, will come out next year in March. So I really want to try and get to that, to this month, but if I don't, I'll get to it in January or February. It's not like the highest of priorities, but I really want to read it. I love Katie Robert, guys. Like, she's one of my favorite authors. And she's going to be in Illinois in February for Radiant Sin. That's why I can't read it in February, because Radiant Sin's coming out, which is the next book in the Dark Olympus series. It's so hard to keep your series track. Like, it's all keeping it tracked is just insane. But so yeah, I just really want to get to The Kraken Sacrifice this month. But if I don't get to it this month, I'll get to it next month. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay. Basically, the rest of these is all books that I wanted to read in November, but didn't get around to, except for the final few. But so, all right. Next up, we have Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is a Chestnut Springs novel, and I believe this one was a Bull Rider romance. Yes. I haven't. Yeah, it's a bull rider romance. That's all I can tell you. It's set in a small town. I've heard really good things about it. I just really wanted to get to it in November and it didn't happen. It was part of my add-ons though, so it wasn't like the biggest of priorities, but I really wanted to read it. Especially since also the second one sounded really good, which is a nanny romance, and it's called Heartless. And this is also on my TBR for the month. And then the third one will be coming out in February. Okay, so yeah. Thankfully, Elsie Silver seems to be bringing them out every few months. So that's perfect. So the first one came out in June, then Heartless came out in October, and now Powerless will be coming out in February. So it sounds like no time at all will pass before each book comes out, which I love. But I really want to read those two books. Now, they seem like they're standalone books, so you don't have to read one to read the other. But I really want to just read them both. So it works out perfectly. All right. And then here, I'm going to talk about this book first, and then we'll go on to the rest of them, because they're all part of the same series, the other ones. Let me see if I can find this one, though. Oh, there it goes. I was worried it wasn't on Goodreads. Anastasia by Sophie Lark. This comes out in December. It's basically a romantic retelling of Anastasia, and I'm here for it. Like, Anastasia, oh my god. Anastasia is the princess no one needs, the fourth daughter born to an emperor without a son, and the only royal lacking a magical gift, until she collides with a young Cossack rebel, changing both their lives forever. Damien is taken from everything he knows and raised as a ward of the Romanovs. Anastasia develops a strange kind of magic shared only by the black monk Rasputin, while her power grows in secret, boosted by forbidden contact with Damien. Anastasia makes a mistake with terrible consequences. Fate grants her a single chance to set it right, but saving what she lost may cost everything she loves. Yeah. I'm excited. Also, there's going to be like illustrations throughout this. Like, come on. Anastasia is one of my favorite stories / movies / soundtrack. Like, everything about Anastasia just speaks to me. I absolutely love it. So I cannot wait to read that. And I have really enjoyed Sophie Lark's writing in the past, and I want to get back to reading her books. Also, I think she did say that there's going to be a trilogy set in this world sometime in the future, so that sounds really good. Okay. Lastly, let's talk about, lastly for the physical, or the books that I don't own physically, we're going to talk about the Jameson Valley series by Daphne Perry, because I want to read all the rest of the books in the series. I took a break from Daphne Perry, and I'm pissed off. I think it's really because, if you can tell, I own I own a few of her books, in like paperback, in physical form. So she did release quite a few of her books on Kindle Unlimited, and by quite a few, I mean, I don't think all of them are on there, but they could be. It's a lot. And she has quite a backlist. So I have, I've been really wanting to read them, but like every time I sit down, I'm like, all right, I'm going to read Daphne Perry. I keep thinking how badly I want the paperback. So it's fine. I'm just going to do it. Like, I cannot spend money on the books that I don't technically need. You know, like I have access to them. I need to stop being all like, oh, well, I really want it physically, because I'm going to get it physically one day. It's just not going to be now. So The Lucky Heart by Daphne Perry. This is next. I keep saying how badly I want to read it. And it said life on his ranch could be their future if they overcome their past. Because this is the Felicity and Silas book. And I'm really excited for their romance. Something went down with them. And you just know it. You just don't know what the hell it was. But I'm excited to learn what the hell happened. Finally. Just freaking finally. And then next up we have The Outpost. Trapped in his tiny mountain cabin, she didn't expect to fall for his big heart. This is Sabrina. Oh, wait, is this Bo? This is Bo's book. This is why I really want to read this one, too. I love Bo so much. So, yeah, The Outpost is number 4. So, number 5 is The Bitterroot Inn. Probably better if you could say it like that. Her past, his secrets, they have more in common than she knows. Cool. Whose book is this? This is Maisie and Hunter's book. Maisie. Oh my god, Maisie deserves so much. That poor woman. Okay. Alright. I gotta read it. And then lastly for the series, because it's a 6-book series, is The Candle Palace. Sometimes a single flame can ignite a love that lasts a lifetime. This is Milo's book. Why have I not read these? Like, I love everybody. Oh my god. Milo and Sarah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I need to read all of them. Honestly, like, I'm so excited for them. So, really what I want to do is finish off, like, my series that I've been in the middle of. I'm not doing that for everything, but I am, like, for every series I'm in the middle of, but I am just trying to get a couple. So, the Jameson Valley series by Daphne Perry that I just talked about, and then the Wicked Villain series by Katie Robert that I just talked about. I'm catching up, hopefully, this month with, the Deal with the Demon series by reading The Kraken Sacrifice. And also, oh yeah, and then reading the last book, or next book in the Romance Book Club series, the next book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series, even though I've already finished it, doesn't matter. The second book in, it's all the way at the bottom, I'm not grabbing that, but the second book in the Flesh and Fire series by Jennifer Armentrout. I'm really focusing on series, and then also starting new series, because I'm insane. But these are all just books that have been on my radar for so long that I've been really wanting to pick up, and I just haven't done it. And I'm not forcing myself, but I am like knuckling down this month. So that's happening. Okay, so that's all the books I want to read this month. Now let's just talk about the mini readathon that's happening. So for anybody who doesn't know, I've taken part in the Magical Readathon for years. When it was a Harry Potter readathon, I was all over it. And then after all the stuff that happened with J.K. Rowling, she created her own world and incorporated the readathon into that. And I just love every second of it. Honestly, I really do. April and August are my favorite months because that's when the 2 readathons hit, and that's when I read the most. I am always so excited for this readathon. So when I found out there was going to be a mini readathon in December, which most of the time there always is, but I was just really excited for that. This one is going to be really chilled out though. So it's 9 days from the 9th to the 18th of December. And you don't have to do anything, but if you want to take place, how it is that you're in a town and there's a bunch of shops and you can just go and have fun in a shop or a couple shops or whatever you want to do. There are 6 different places. One is a pub, one is a bookshop, one is like an arcade shop, a general retailer, an occult shop. I can't remember the last one. It's like Wacky Wanimals or something, like an animal, like a pet store, I think. Each shop has a different genre attached to what you can read, and like the prompts that it's, giving you. Except for the pub, which there's no prompts. It's literally just based on vibes. So if you just want to vibe out, like just listen to music, watch some TV, participate in the reading sprint, stuff like that, you could just do that and then not have to worry about like prompts and stuff like that, if that's what you want to do. But So each shop, other than the pub, it gives you a main prompt and then 2 extra prompts. The only thing about it is that whatever shop you decide, the genre that attached to that shop is what you have to technically read to pass, like to get through it, to get through the prompts and stuff like that. So if you choose the bookshop, which is so sad, it's mystery thriller. So your main prompt is just to read a mystery thriller, and then the 2 extra prompts, little things, just whatever kind of prompts it is, you just have to pick mystery thrillers to go with those prompts. I have no mystery thrillers on my TBR this month, so I'm not going to the bookshop. By the way, my character is Aelin Batose. That's my name in Final Fantasy XIV. That's my name in this readathon, and it's all because of Aelin from Throne of Glass. It's based on her. She's my favorite character. She's my favorite everything. She's my girl, okay? She's my ride or die. So I just based everything on her, and the 2 shops that I would go to is the bookshop, or that Aelin would go to is the bookshop, and I feel like she would also go to the pub, but neither of those is really working out. I can't remember, well, like, the pet store, that doesn't really help me, though, either, because I can't remember what the genre was for that, but I think it was fantasy, but the prompts didn't help. The main prompt was fine, and I might step into the pet store and read the fantasy. I just don't know if I'll still be reading it just by December 9th. But I also still have, like, Ice Planet Barbarians and stuff like that. So, just to read a fantasy, I could do that. But I'm not holding myself, like, accountable to it, you know? Or I also have the witch book, too. I have fantasy books on here. So I could do that. I just won't read the extra prompts and stuff. But I'll basically be in the arcane shop. Yeah, I mean, why not? Aelin just wants to learn a whole bunch of new stuff. She wants to be powerful in everything, and it makes sense for her to go to the arcane shop and learn all about that. By the way, the arcane shop is called Smith and Friends and Sons, Arcane Goods and Such. So she's looking for stuff, but she's also trying to learn something new. I'm gonna go with it. Because the arcane shop, the main genre for that is contemporary. So it's to read a contemporary, which, buy a thread by Lucy Score. This works for me. And then the 2 extra prompts. First one is to buy a miniature portal kit, read a book set during a holiday, which I have. Wait, yes. Of course, it's on the bottom. The Holiday Brothers by Will and Ash. There are 3 holiday stories in here. Works out. And then finally, buy Enchanted Self-Writing Quill and Quick Dry Ink. Read a book published this year. And again, it has to be contemporary. But it works out because A Very Merry Bromance came out this year. Like, literally last month. So, these are my 3 books that I am going to be for sure reading for the readathon. I hate when my throat gets like that. But yeah, these are the 3 books that I'm reading for the readathon for sure. But again, I could decide to step into the pet store and read this. There's a ghost in this, so that counts, I think. I mean, you would count a ghost as fantasy. If not, it's fine. I don't need it. This is fantasy. It's a blue alien smut, but it's still fantasy. Witchy. I might, if anything, just choose this because this is cozy and stuff, and I could read that for the readathon, no problem. So if anything, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, I think that'll work out perfectly. And it actually kind of fits with everything. So, yeah. Can everything stop falling? These are the 4 books that I will be for sure and attempting to read for the readathon. I don't even remember what the 2 extra prompts were for the pet store, but it doesn't matter. I don't think I'd be doing that anyway. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really excited to pick up books right now. I literally just want to go back to reading right now, which is exactly what I want. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again with another. Bye, and happy reading.